In Investigation 1, Origin of Seeds, there are 3 parts to this investigation, which will take roughly 5 class sessions, so 4 whole class sessions and then some revisiting during Investigation 2. The student learning outcomes for this investigation are that students will observe, explore, and communicate and organize information on properties of seeds. They will investigate the effect water has on seeds and observe this over several days. And finally, they'll compare the mass of dry and soaked seeds. There is a lot of preparation in this investigation, so you need to make sure that you read ahead, prepare ahead of time, and a lot of this work from Investigation 1 will carry over into Investigation 2. So don't get rid of anything at the end of Investigation 1 and think that you're done. You need those seedlings for Investigation 2 also. So like I said, there's a lot of pre-class prep. You're going to need to buy fruits. What I try to do is I try to buy fruits that students might not be familiar with. You're going to need to familiarize yourself with the unit materials, including how to use the planters. And like I said before, order your organisms now. You want to order them, look on your pacing calendar, see when you're going to need them, and order them. Part 1, seed search. So again, buy those fruits ahead of time. Students are going to need different fruits to analyze for this investigation. I usually buy 4 to 6 different kinds of fruits and enough for each student to try a small sample of that fruit. Remember that the fruits have to have seeds, so don't buy the seedless variety if you buy something that is seedless and seeded. I tend to get fruits that they may not think are fruits or ones that they have not tried before, more unique fruits. I try to steer away from apples or oranges, things that they probably eat on a regular basis. Some of my student favorites are kiwi, lemon, limes, cucumbers, peppers, and you also need the sugar snap peas. You're going to need that separate from the seed search investigation. I always pre-cut the fruit also before students come into class. That way that it's ready to go. I have it pre-cut on plates. And I just say, don't touch the fruit. Don't sneeze on the fruit. Don't cough on the fruit. Don't touch the fruit. Stay far away. Just observe the seeds. If we want a sample of it, we can't touch and put our hands all over the fruit. If you want to give them plastic gloves to wear, just in case they do touch it, they can. I do put some seeds off to the side so they can pick up the seeds and touch the seeds. But the fruit, I want them just to see and not touch. Part 2, the sprouting seed. So this is 1 class session with 1 revisiting over the next 2 weeks. So you're going to need to have the class sprouter out, familiarize yourself how to use that. You're going to need this mini sprouters, the coffee filters. You're going to need 4 of the seeds that come in the container. Remember to close those seeds back up in the bag when you're not using them. Tape it, put it back in the double bag, and back into the science kit. You're going to need to make a weak bleach solution at home. I only bring in enough that I need for that day. I keep the rest right at home. I don't like to store it at school. If you want to talk to your janitor and see if he has a place where you can store it and he can store it for you, you can do that. Make sure it's labeled though, bleach solution, so that everyone knows and understands what it is. It's a super, super weak solution. 2 liters of water, 5 milliliters of bleach. Not a whole lot of bleach. And you need this so it will prevent molding on the seeds. I've done it before without the bleach solution, and trust me, you don't want to do it. Not only does it mold quickly, it stinks. Stinks really bad. For part 2 also, you're going to do 1 class setup and then revisiting. It takes 5-10 minutes each revisiting session, so you can squeeze it in between the next few parts. You want to set up the mini planters ahead of time, demonstrate for the students how to do this. Each group of students will be in charge of a different seed. So I have 4 groups of students, 4 seeds. I have them pull a card with that seed name on it. No one gets to look. It's secretive. You pull a card, that's what you get. Sometimes I have 5 groups of students. So 2 groups will have the same seed type. That's fine. I still do the same way. I keep it fair. 5 pieces of paper, all the seeds, 1 seed per paper. Students come up, pull it. That's the seed they get. If you want to use this as a managing piece, quietest group gets to pick their seed type first. I've done that also in the past. Each group's going to be responsible for observing their seeds and reporting out to the classroom. They're going to need to share that information. And again, make sure you use that bleach solution. Discuss molding with the students. Discuss the word dormant with the students. Tell them that the seeds might mold. Even with the bleach solution, it's not guaranteed not to mold. Have them look out for the mold. Once they see a little bit of mold on a seed, you want to remove that seed right away so the rest don't grow that mold on it. Part 3, the soaked seed. So this is going to be 2 classes. The first class is going to be a little bit longer than the second class. So for the first class, they're going to observe the dry seed, talk about the properties, make predictions, what's going to happen when they're placed in water. And then we're going to revisit part 2, the seeds that they already have growing, record those observations. They're going to need to measure the seeds. They're going to need the gram cubes. They're going to need the scales out. These are not in the boxes. These are in the plastic crates, which is called the Structures of Life Measuring Kit, it would say on it. After class 1, you're going to want to pour some water into the dry seed cup. Make sure you label each table because not all the seeds weigh the same. So you want each table, each group's seeds labeled. I have 5 tables, so I'll just label table 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the cups, pour water in, drain the water out at the beginning of the second class. We'll weigh them, observe the inside of the seeds. You want to show them how to crack open the seeds. I keep extra soaked seeds on hand because oftentimes a student will split the seed and lose the embryo on the inside, and then they have nothing to draw or talk about. So I keep a bunch of extra soaked seeds off to the side in case this happens. Close reading and text-dependent questions. So after part 1, it's a perfect opportunity to complete this assessment. Have the students read the traveling seeds. This is only part of the story that's located in the student readers. It's just on page 3. So you can either use the student reader or you can print it off of the BPS Science Weebly along with the student question and then sample answers for correcting. Word wall. Talked about this before. It's important to have that word wall going. So I have a word wall set up with pictures for my ELL students of what it is, along with the word. So if they can't read the word or they don't understand what it means, they have that picture there and they can say, okay, that's what I mean. Okay, that must be the word. So they'll look for the picture first and then go back and look for what the word is and how to spell it. I always keep this posted in class.